You mean the one you couldn't get to cut?
When you're slapped, you'll take it and like it.
When you're slapped, you'll take it and like it. What's going on, Flicks Talkers? Welcome back to another movie reaction. This time, my first time watching 1941's The Maltese Falcon. Now, this film does star Humphrey Bogart, who I loved in Casablanca, one of my favorite films of yesteryear. I really got to dive deep into these classics, guys. Check them out, immerse myself, since I'm obviously not from that generation, and I really do think it is important for me to check out cinema from back in the day. And other than the cover, I know nothing about this film, which is the best way I like to go into these first time watches, not knowing a thing about them, and offer my commentary along the way. So enough talking, let's get to watching. But before we do, if you guys want to show love and support the channel, make sure to always hit that big thumbs up and consider subscribing today, where I do more movie reactions like this, trailer reactions, and live streams 3 times a week here on the channel. Also, if you guys like to see my full reaction to this movie and more, make sure to click my Patreon link down in the description below for full uncensored movie reactions, as well as vlogs and additional content that you can't get here on YouTube. All right, Flicks Talkers, so without further ado, let's get into 1941's The Maltese Falcon. In 1539, the Knight Templars of Malta paid tribute to Charles V of Spain by sending him a golden falcon encrusted from beak to claw with the rarest jewels. But pirates seized the gallery carrying this priceless token, and the fate of the Maltese Falcon remains a mystery to this day.
I inquired at the hotel for the name of a reliable private detective. They mentioned yours. I'm trying to find my sister. I have reason to believe that she's here in San Francisco with a man by the name of Thursby, Floyd Thursby.
You've had word of your sister?
A letter from her about 2 weeks ago. It said nothing except that she was all right. I waited a week and no answer came, so I decided to come out here myself. I sent her another letter to General Delivery. Yesterday afternoon, I went to the post office. Corinne didn't call for her mail, but Floyd Thursby did. He wouldn't tell me where Corinne was. He said she didn't want to see me. He promised to bring her to the hotel if she'd come this evening.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, it's all right, Miles. Come in. Miss Wendley, my partner, Miles Archer. Miss Wendley has seen Thursby and has a date to meet him tonight. Maybe he'll bring the sister with him. The chances are he won't. Miss Wendley wants us to find the sister, get her away from him, and back home.
Yes.
Now, it's,
His partner was like,
of having a man at the hotel this evening.
I honestly don't think he'd stop at anything. I don't think he'd hesitate to kill Corinne if he thought it would save him.
Could he cover up by marrying her?
He has a wife and 3 children in England.
Yes, they usually do, though not always in England. What's he look like? All right, Miss Wendley. We'll have a man there.
I'll look after it myself.
Will that be enough? Thank you.
Not at all.
I love how they didn't even set a price. They just waited till she put another bill on top of there.
Maybe you saw it first, Sam, but I spoke first.
You got brains.
Whoa. That's so crazy, because I had a feeling his partner would go there, something would happen to the partner. That was like instant.
Hello? Miles Archer, dead.
Not even that broken up about it.
Oh, have he? Miles has been shot. Yeah, dead. Now, you'll have to break the news to Ivor. I'd fry first. And keep her away from me.
I guess you got to keep your composure in an industry like that, right? Your friends and people you know are probably dying left and right, you know? I mean, your private eyes, you're going to run into some stuff.
Got him right through the pump with this. It's a Webley. English, ain't it?
Yeah, Webley Forsby, 45 automatic, 8 shot. They don't make them anymore. How many gone out of it?
Just one. His gun was still tucked away on his hip, hadn't been fired. His overcoat was buttoned. I found a $100 bill in his vest pocket and 30-some bucks in his pants. It's tough him getting it like that, ain't it? Miles had his faults just like any of the rest of us, but I guess he must have had some good points too, huh?
I guess so. Oh, hello, Tom. Hello, Lieutenant. Come in.
Everybody with those big coats, man.
Did you break the news to Miles' wife, Sam?
Uh-huh.
How'd she take it?
I don't know anything about women.
Since when?
What kind of a gun do you carry?
None. I don't like them.
Now, we don't want to make any trouble.
I don't like this. What are you birds sucking around here for? Tell me or get out.
You can't treat us like that, Sam. It ain't right. We got our work to do.
Why were you tailing Thursby?
I wasn't. Miles wasn't. But the simple reason we had a client.
Who's the client?
Sorry, I can't tell you that.
Tom says you were in too much of a hurry to even stop and take a look at your dead partner. And you didn't go to Archer's house to tell his wife. We called your office, and the girl there said you told her to do it. I'll give you 10 minutes to get to a phone and do your talking to the girl. I'll give you 10 minutes to get to Thursby's joint. Gary and Leavenworth, you could do it easily in that time.
What's your boyfriend getting at, Tom?
Just this. Thursby was shot down in front of his hotel about a half an hour after you left Bush Street.
What?
Paws off me. Thursby died?
Yeah.
How'd I kill him? I forget.
He was shot in the back 4 times with a 44 or 45 from across the street.
I've never seen Thursby, dead or alive.
Well, you know me, Spade. If you did it or if you didn't, you'll get a square deal from me and most of the breaks.
Fair enough. But I'd feel better about it if you'd have a drink with me. Success to crime.
Success to crime. Thursby Archer murders linked. Same night, too, right?
Hello, Ivor.
Oh, Sam. Sam, did you kill him?
Who put that bright idea in your head?
Well, I thought you said if it wasn't for Miles, you'd...
Ha! You killed my husband, Sam. Be kind to me.
You'll come soon.
As soon as I can. Goodbye, Ivor.
What is happening? That's the partner's wife? Oh, bro, that is wrong on so many levels.
She thinks I shot Miles.
So you could marry her?
Cops think I killed Thursby, the guy Miles was tailing for that Wonderly dame.
Are you going to marry Ivor?
Oh, don't be silly. I wish I'd never laid eyes on her.
Suppose I told you that your Ivor hadn't been home many minutes when I arrived to break the news at 3 o'clock this morning. She kept me waiting at the door while she undressed. Her clothes were on a chair where she dumped them, hat and coat underneath. Her slip on top was still warm.
You're a detective, darling, but she didn't kill him.
You always think you know what you're doing, but you're too slick for your own good. Someday you're going to find it out.
That story I told you yesterday was just a story.
We didn't exactly believe your story, Miss O'Shaughnessy. We believed you $200.
You mean that?
I mean, you paid us more than if you'd been telling us the truth and enough more to make it all right. Well, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to be of much help to you unless I've got some idea what it's all about. For instance, I've got to have some sort of a line on your Floyd Thursby.
We came here from Hong Kong last week. He promised to help me. He took advantage of my dependence on him to betray me. I wanted to find out how far he'd gone, whom he was meeting, things like that.
Did he kill Archer?
Certainly.
He had a Luger in his shoulder holster. Archer wasn't shot with a Luger.
You don't think I had anything to do with the death of Mr. Archer?
Did you?
No. Floyd always carried an extra revolver in his overcoat pocket.
Why all the guns?
The story in Hong Kong is that he first came to the Orient as bodyguard to a gambler who'd had to leave the States. The gambler had since disappeared, and Floyd knew about the disappearance, I don't know. And that he never went to sleep without covering the floor around his bed with crumpled newspapers, so that nobody could come silently into his room.
How bad a spot are you actually in?
Bad as could be.
Who killed Thursby? Your enemies or his?
His, I suppose. I'm afraid. I don't know.
I don't know what you want done. I don't even know if you know what you want done.
I won't go to the police. I do thank you for what you've done. I'll have to take my chances.
How much money have you got?
I've got about $500 left.
Give it to me. There's only 400 here.
I had to keep some to live on.
Haven't you got anything you can raise some money on?
Got some furs and little jewelry.
You'll have to hock 'em. There you are. I'll be back as soon as I can with the best news I can manage. I'll ring 4 times.
Damn, he robbed her blind. I mean, not opposite of robbing her blind. He just robbed her outright.
Will you come in, Mr. Cairo?
See, Mr. Spade, I'm trying to recover ornament that, shall we say, has been mislaid.
I've seen this actor before. The voice is very recognizable.
I am prepared to pay on behalf of the figure's rightful owner the sum of $5,000 for its recovery.
$5,000 is...
You will clasp your hands together at the back of your neck.
What the f...
I intend to search your offices, Mr. Spade.
Oh, he was quick. Oh. He's like, I'm going to overpower this guy easily. He He held him a long time before the boop. So this guy thought he had that falcon, huh? The falcon statue. Like I'm about to rob his ass.
You have it?
No.
But if it isn't here, why did you risk serious injury to prevent my searching for it?
Why don't you sit around here and let people come in and stick me up? Now, let's see. Your first guess was that I had the bird. There's nothing to that. What's your second guess?
That you know where it is, or at least you know it is where you can get it. Oh, may I please have my gun now? Will you please clasp your hands together at the back of your neck? I intend to search your offices.
Is this a joke?
Well, sure. Go ahead. I won't stop you.
I was gonna say, what a scene, and then that happened again. That was bizarre, but also very, like, believable that would happen when he gave him his gun back.
By the way, I saw Joel Cairo tonight.
Do you know him?
Only slightly.
Mm-hmm. She knows him.
What did you talk about then?
He offered me $5,000 for the black bird.
It's more than I can ever offer you if I have to bid for your loyalty.
What have you ever given me beside money? Haven't you tried to buy my loyalty with money and nothing else?
What else is there I can buy you with?
You've got to convince me that you know what this is all about, that you aren't just fiddling around hoping it'll all come out right in the end.
But I haven't got the Falcon. I'll have it in another week at the most, though.
Then where is it?
Where Floyd hid it.
And why, if I may ask another question, are you willing to sell it to me?
After what happened to Floyd, I'm afraid to touch it except to turn it over to somebody else.
What exactly did happen to Floyd?
The fat man.
Fat man. Is he here?
I don't know. I suppose so.
Might make a world of difference. But, shall we add more certainly the boy outside?
But you might be able to get around him, Joel, as you did the one in Istanbul. What was his name?
You mean the one you couldn't get to come to? This is the second time that you have laid hands on me.
When you're slapped, you'll take it and like it. I don't know, keep quiet.
When you're slapped, you'll take it and like it.
The talk is that she tried to get a divorce for him so she could put in with you, and he wouldn't give it to her. Anything to that?
Nope.
There's even talk that that's why he was put on the spot.
Your first idea that I killed Thursby because he killed Miles falls to pieces if you blame me for killing Miles, too.
You haven't heard me say you killed anybody. You're the one that keeps bringing that up. If you say there's nothing between you and Archer's wife, you're a liar, and I'm telling you so. All right, Spade, we'll go.
Wait, just
Yeah, what's going on?
Look, officer! Look what she did!
I had to keep him off. I couldn't bring myself to shoot
You
him.
dirty, filthy liar, you! And she said as soon as you leave, they are going to kill me. So I called for help because I didn't want you to leave me and be murdered.
Why didn't you make him tell the truth?
Look!
She kicked him.
Well, boys and girls, we put it over nicely. Oh, don't you know when you're being kidded?
No, but that can wait till we get down to the hall.
Ah, wake up, Dundy, you're being kidded. When I heard the buzzer, I said to Mr. Shaughnessy in Cairo here, I said, there's the police again. They're getting to be a nuisance. When you hear them going, one of you scream, and then we'll see how far along we can string them until they tumble.
Horse feathers.
Take him along anyway for packing a gun.
Oh, don't be a sap. That gun was a plant. It was one of mine. Too bad it was only a 25, or maybe you could prove that was the gun that Miles and Thursby were shot with.
No, Sam, no.
Well, then get him out of here. Well, you've had your talk with Cairo. Now you can talk to me.
It's a black figure, as you know, smooth and shiny. Of a bird, a hawk or falcon, about that high. They offered me £500 if I'd help them get it away from the man who had it.
That was in Istanbul?
Marmara. Then we found out that Joel Cairo intended to desert us, taking the falcon with him and leaving Floyd and me nothing. Then I wasn't any better off than I was before, because Floyd hadn't any intention of keeping his promise to me about sharing equally. I'd learned that by the time we got here.
What's the bird made of?
Porcelain or black stone, I don't know. I only saw it once for a few minutes.
You're gonna have to talk to me before you're through, Sonny. Some of you will. And you can tell the fat man I said so.
Keep asking for it and you're gonna get it.
What do you let these cheap gunmen hang around the lobby for with their heaters bulging in their clothes?
Well, if you don't want anything, beat it. And don't come back. I won't forget you guys.
Ah, Mr. Spade.
How do you do, Mr. Gutman?
That the fat man?
I tell you right out, I'm a man who likes talking to a man who likes to talk. Let's talk about the Blackbird, by all means. You here as Miss O'Shaughnessy's representative. Maybe it depends on Joel Cairo.
Maybe.
The question is then which you represent.
There's me.
I do like a man who tells you right after he's looking out for himself. Of how much money can be got for that Blackbird? I told you half. You'd call me a liar.
And I know the value in human life you people put on it.
She didn't tell you what it is?
Oh, don't be foolish. You know what it is. I know where it is. That's why I'm here.
Well, sir, where is it? I don't think we can do business along those lines.
I'll think again and think fast. I told that gunsel of yours you'd have to talk to me before you're through. I'm telling you now, you'll talk to me today or you are through. What are you wasting my time for? I can get along without you. And another thing, keep that gunsel out of my way while you're making up your mind. I'll kill him if you don't. I'll kill him.
Come on, he wants to see you.
Oh, I didn't expect you till 5:25. I hope I haven't kept you waiting.
Keep on riding me. They're going to be picking iron out of your liver.
Here, you shouldn't let him go around with these on him. He might get himself hurt.
By gad, sir, you're the chap worth knowing. An amazing character. Give me your hat.
Let's talk about the Blackbird.
All right, sir. What do you know, sir, about the order of the Hospital of St. John of Jerusalem? Later known as the Knights of Rhodes and other things.
Crusaders or something, weren't they?
In 1539, these crusading knights persuaded Emperor Charles V to give them the island of Malta. He made but one condition. They pay him each year the tribute of a falcon, in acknowledgement that Malta was still under Spain. Have you any conception of the extreme, the immeasurable wealth of the order of that time?
I imagine they were pretty well fixed.
Pretty well is putting it mildly. For years, they've taken from the East nobody knows what spoils of gems, precious metals, silks, ivories. The knights were profoundly grateful to the Emperor Charles. They hit upon the happy thought of sending him for his first year's tribute. Not an insignificant live bird, but a glorious golden falcon, crusted from head to foot with the finest jewels in their coffers. They sent this foot-high jewel bird to Charles, who was then in Spain. They sent it in a galley, commanded by a member of the order. It never reached Spain. In 1713, it turned up in Sicily. In 1840, it appeared in Paris. It had by that time acquired a coat of black enamel, so that it looked nothing more than a fairly interesting black statuette. In that disguise, sir, it was, as you may say, kicked around Paris for over 60 years by private owners too stupid to see what it was under the skin. In 1923, a Greek dealer named Carlos Constantinides found it in an obscure shop. You begin to believe me a little?
I haven't said I didn't.
While pursuing his researches into its history, Carlos re-enameled the bird. Despite this precaution, however, I got wind of his find. If I'd only known a few days sooner. I was in London when I heard. I packed a bag, got on the boat train immediately. On the train, I opened the paper, The Times, and read that Carlos's establishment had been burglarized and him murdered. That was 17 years ago. I traced it to the home of a Russian general, one Kemedov, in an Istanbul suburb. He didn't know a thing about it. There was nothing but a black enamel figure to him. His natural contrariness kept him from selling it to me when I made him an offer. So I sent him some agents to get it. They got it, and I haven't got it.
Then the bird doesn't really belong to any of you, but to a General Kemedov.
Well, sir, you might as well say it belonged to the King of Spain. I don't see how you can honestly grant anyone else a clear title to it, except by right of possession. I will give you $25,000 when you deliver the falcon to me, and another $25,000 later on. Or I will give you 1/4 of what I realized on the falcon. That would amount to a vastly greater sum. So we say 100,000? What would you say to $250,000?
It's a lot of dough.
A lot of dough.
He's had one too many. But this guy's been drinking the same drink, right?
Wilma!
Maybe he just dropped something in his drink without me seeing it. Ooh, he's like, you had that coming. Yep, there he is. They're all in cahoots. Back then, a mill was a big, big deal.
Someone I know came aboard this afternoon. I haven't seen her since. I'm worried. No reason to be, mister. Everybody got off all right. Only the harbor watch was aboard when the fire started. You know. Folks.
Who is that?
Couldn't have come far with those holes in them.
I think I know what's in that newspaper.
Do you really think it's...
We've got it, Angel. We've got it.
hurting? Yes, yes. Hello! Hello, hello! There's Miss O'Shaughnessy. She wants you. She's in danger. Oh, you've got to go to her, don't you see? He was helping her and they killed him and... Oh, you've got to go, Sam.
No, this is suspect.
Well, I had to go, but I didn't say...
Hide that Falcon or take it with you.
Get that straight. Everything happened exactly as it did happen, but without the bundle, and I got the phone call.
That was too convenient. Okay, he's taking it with him. Okay, good.
Do you know who he is?
Yeah, it's Captain Jacoby, master of the La Paloma. You're a good man, sister.
You're a good man, sister.
Hiding in a doorway up the street. I thought you'd never come.
Well, sir, we're all here. Now let's come in and sit down and be comfortable and talk.
Take your paws off me, or I'll make you use that gun. Ask your boss if he wants me shot up before we talk. Well, you ready to make the first payment and take the Falcon off my hands?
Well, sir, as to that,
10,000. We were talking about a lot more money than this. I've got the Falcon.
I shouldn't think it would be necessary to remind you, Mr. Spade, that you may have the Falcon, but we certainly have you.
We've got to have a fall guy. The police have got to have a victim, somebody they can pin those 3 murders on. Let's give him the gunsel. He actually did shoot Thursby and Jacoby, didn't he? Anyways, made to order for the part. Look at him.
by gad, so you are a character, that you are. That's ridiculous. I feel towards Wilma here just exactly as if he were my own son. Now, how would you be able to fix it so that Wilma couldn't do us any harm?
I can show Brian, our district attorney, that if he goes around trying to collect everybody, he's going to have a tangled case. But if he sticks to Wilmer here, he can get a conviction standing on his head.
Get up on your feet. I've taken all the riding from you I'm gonna take. Get up and shoot it out.
Young Wild West.
We can't have any of that. You shouldn't let yourself attach so much importance to these things.
Tell him to lay off me then.
No.
Ooh, he's getting emotional.
I hope you're not letting yourself be influenced by the guns these pocket edition desperados are waving around. Because I've practiced taking guns away from these boys before, so we'll have no trouble there.
Wilma! Wilma!
Oh, he's gonna do something drastic.
There's our fall guy. Now, either you'll say yes right now, or I'll turn the Falcon and the whole lot of you in. Why did he shoot Thursby, and why and where and how did he shoot Captain Jacoby? You see, I've got to know all that happened so I can be sure the parts that don't fit are covered up.
Thursby was Miss O'Shaughnessy's ally. We believe that disposing of him in the manner we did would cause Miss O'Shaughnessy to stop and think that perhaps it would be best to patch up her differences with us regarding the Falcon. So we have persuaded Miss O'Shaughnessy to tell us where she had told Captain Jacoby to take the Falcon. And we further persuaded her to phone your office in an attempt to draw you away before Jacoby got there. But unfortunately for us, it had taken us too long to persuade Miss O'Shaughnessy.
I love how they don't show any of these scenes. They just describe them so your imagination can paint the picture of what happened. It's a good way to cut costs, I'll tell you that. Knock him out again?
Well, Wilma, I'm sorry indeed to lose you. But I want you to know I couldn't be fonder of you if you were my own son. But, well, if you lose a son, it's possible to get another. There's only one Maltese Falcon. When you're young, you simply don't understand these things.
Surely.
Just a moment, my dear. Hadn't you better leave the envelope in here?
Sit on it if you're afraid of losing it.
You misunderstand me. It's not that at all. The business should be transacted in a business-like manner. For instance, there are only 9 bills here now. There were 10 when I handed them to you, as you very well know.
She's a liar and a little thief.
I want to know about this.
A bullshit.
You palmed it.
I palmed it.
Yeah.
What?
Say so, or do you want to stand for a frisk?
Stand for?
You're going to admit it, or I'm going to search you. There's no third way.
By gosh, I believe you, but I really do. You are a character, if you don't mind my saying so. Yes, sir. That I did.
Oh. Had me fooled.
I must have my little joke now and then. I must say you passed the test with flying colors.
It's the sort of a thing I'd expect from somebody Wilmer's age. Thanks, lady. Sorry to spoil your day of rest.
Not the first one you spoiled.
Fake. It's a phony. It's lead. It's lead. It's a fake.
All right, you've had your little joke. Now tell us about it.
No, Sam, no! That's the one I got from Kemenoff, I swear it!
You and your stupid attempt to buy it. Kemenoff found out how valuable it was. No wonder we had such an easy time stealing it. You stupid fathead, you!
Oh, this guy gonna have a heart attack or what? Wow, all of that for nothing. Unless Spade switched it. Which I don't know how he would do that, but that would be kind of a cool twist.
Yes, it's the Russian's hand, there's no doubt about it. Or shall we go to Istanbul? 17 years I wanted that little item, and I've been trying to get it. We must spend another year on the quest. Well, sir, it'll be an additional expenditure in time of only 5 15/17%. Wilma.
A swell lot of thieves.
The world hasn't come to an end just because we've run into a little setback. I must ask you for that envelope.
I held up my end. You got your dingers. It's your hard luck, not mine. It wasn't what you wanted.
Now, come, sir, we've all failed. And there's no reason for expecting any of us to bear the whole brunt. In short, sir, I must ask you for my 10,000.
This will take care of my time and expenses.
Now, sir, we'll say goodbye to you. Unless you care to undertake the Istanbul expedition with us. But frankly, sir, I'd like to have you along. You're a man of nice judgment and many resources.
And the quest continues.
And to you, Miss O'Shaughnessy, I leave the rare avis on the table there as a little memento.
Hello, Tom. Now, listen, I've got something for you. Here it is. Jacoby and Thursby were killed by a kid named Wilmer Cook. He's working for a man named Caspar Gutman. That fellow Cairo's in with them, too. They just left here for the Alexandria Hotel, but you'll have to move fast. They're blowing town. We've only got minutes to get set for the police. Now, give me all of it fast. When you first came to my office, why did you want Thursby shadowed?
I told you, Sam, I thought he was betraying me, and I wanted to find out.
That's a lie. You had Thursby hooked, and you knew it, and you wanted to get rid of him before Jacoby came with the loot, so you wouldn't have to split it with him. Isn't that so?
I thought if he knew someone was following him, he'd be frightened into going away.
You told Thursby he was being followed.
Yes, but please believe me, Sam. I wouldn't have told him if I thought Floyd would kill him.
Miles hadn't many brains, but he'd had too many years' experience as a detective to be caught like that by a man he was shadowing up a blind alley with his gun in his hip and his overcoat buttoned. But he'd have gone up there with you, Angel. He was just dumb enough for that. He'd have looked you up and down and licked his lips and gone, grinning from ear to ear. And then you could have stood as close to him as you liked in the dark and put a hole through him with the gun you got from Thursby that evening.
Don't, Sam, don't say that.
Stop it. The police will be here any minute. Now talk.
Oh, why do you accuse me?
This isn't the time for that schoolgirl act. Now, why did you shoot Miles?
I didn't mean to at first. Really, I didn't. But when I found out that Floyd couldn't be frightened, I can't look at you and tell you this, Sam.
You thought Thursby would tackle Miles and one or the other of them would go down. If Thursby was killed, you were rid of him. If it was Miles, you see that Thursby was caught and sent up for it. Isn't that right?
Something like that.
And when you found that Thursby wasn't going to tackle him, you borrowed his gun and did it yourself, right? And when you heard Thursby was shot, you knew Gutman was in town. And you knew you needed another protector, somebody to fill Thursby's boots. So you came back to me.
Yes. From the very first instant I saw you, I knew.
Ladies, man.
Well, if you get a good break, you'll be out at Tehachapi in 20 years, and you can come back to me then.
We're gonna turn her
I hope
in.
they don't hang you, precious, for that sweet neck.
You're not.
Yes, Angel, I'm going to send you over. The chances are you'll get off with life. That means if you're a good girl, you'll be out in 20 years. I'll be waiting for you. If they hang you, I'll always remember you.
Don't say that even in fun. I really thought you do such wild and unpredictable things.
You're taking the fall.
He's like, I'm not playing. She is not taking the fall. She's jumping out that window.
Playing with me. Pretending you care to trap me like this. You don't love me.
I won't play the sap for you.
You know down deep in your heart that in spite of anything I've done, I love you.
I don't care who loves who. I won't play the sap for you. I won't walk in Thursby's, and I don't know how many other footsteps. You killed Miles, and you're going over for it.
Who is by the book? Kind of.
Surely Mr. Archer wasn't so much to was.
That's what I thought. He didn't even shed a tear.
When a man's partner's killed, he's supposed to do something about it. It doesn't make any difference what you thought of him. He was your partner, and you're supposed to do something about it. It's bad business to let the killer get away with it. I've no earthly reason to think I can trust you, and if I do this and get away with it, you'll have something on me that you can use whenever you want to. Since I've got something on you, I couldn't be sure that you wouldn't put a hole in me someday. Maybe you love me, and maybe I love you. I'll have some rotten nights after I've sent you over, but that'll pass. I won't because all of me wants to, regardless of consequences. And because you counted on that with me, the same as you counted on that with all the others.
Would you have done this to me if the Falcon had been real and you'd got your money?
Don't be too sure I'm as crooked as I'm supposed to be. That sort of reputation might be good business, but a lot more money would have been one more item on your side of the scale.
If you'd loved me, you wouldn't have needed any more on that side.
Oh, she's going away.
Got him?
Got him.
Swell. Here's another one for you. She killed Miles. Oh, and I've got some exhibits. The boy's guns, one of Cairo's, and a $1,000 bill I was supposed to be bribed with. And this black statuette here that all the fuss was about.
Wow.
What's the matter with your little playmate? He looks broken-hearted.
Didn't keep any of the money or anything.
I bet when he heard Gutman's story, he thought he had me.
Spade might be the greatest private eye ever. So by the book and...
What is it?
Dang.
The stuff that dreams are made of.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's gonna be behind those bars soon. That's a cool shot. Just them closing. Wow. It picked up. In that last couple of minutes, well, like 10 minutes or so, it picked up. All right, guys, and that was the Maltese Falcon. All right, guys, so 1941 flicks are made different. I'll be honest, I almost fell asleep in a couple of those scenes. I mean, that's not to say that this movie was boring whatsoever, but you have to realize that with cinema, especially back then, damn near 100 years ago, man, 80 years ago for us now, roughly. The structure, obviously, of movie making was a little bit different. I mean, a lot of the scenes were very quick cut, where it was like transition to transition of a scene. Some scenes only lasted about 10 seconds, and then it moved on to the next location. And some of the dialogue was so quick, especially from Spade, where it was just coming out rapid fire. I wish I would have put subtitles on, because he was speaking a million words a minute sometimes. But I think the whole time as a viewer, you're trying to figure out about this Maltese Falcon, about if it's real or not, who has it. When we finally get it, we want to see the bling bling and everything it's hyped up around, right? And when we find out it's fake, that's what kind of leads to the fat man saying, hey, Cairo, let's go on to the adventure of finding the real Falcon. Like, they should make a sequel based off of this one, just trying to find the actual Maltese Falcon, Indiana Jones style. I would love to see that movie, even if Humphrey Bogart's not in it. But I think the point that really grasped my attention once again was that ending last 10 minutes, where Humphrey Bogart really was like, you know what? I've been doing it by the book since second one of this film, you know? I've been kind of using my tricks of manipulation along the way to get where I need to get and do what I need to do. And I think it really proves once again, like I had said, that he is the greatest private eye. At least in this film, he for sure is. One, he got his fall guy, and he got the person that killed his partner, because like he said in the end, that's one thing that you do when your partner gets killed. You seek revenge, so to speak. Now, there was a couple of action scenes sprinkled in and out of there where guns were drawn and whatnot, and a couple of jaw-drop moments, but once again, that last part, that last 10 minutes of dialogue really kind of had me. me. So it's a movie I'm gonna say that's not for everyone. Even though this has a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, people are not gonna feel the same about that score after they watch it, depending on what style of movie filmmaking they usually watch. But since I am trying to be more open to a bigger audience, a broader arrangement of cinema, I definitely try to put myself in that audience seat of a 1941. And even though it was a day in the life of this private eye, just a few days that we did spend with him, and one of these cases in particular, people that he knew, people that he didn't, once again, depending on who you are, if you guys like crime movies or these mystery type films, this might appease to you. This might be right up your alley. Chatterbox movies may be for some, but a lot they might not be. And even though they're not really right up my alley, I gotta appreciate the quality of filmmaking, especially for almost 100 years ago. I had an enjoyable 1 hour and 40 minutes, and I think it's the presentation and the quality of performances that kept me watching. And all that being said, I'm gonna give 1941's The Maltese Falcon a solid 4 out of 5. All right, Flicks Talkers, what do you rank The Maltese Falcon? Let me know down in the comments out of 5. And if you guys did appreciate my thoughts and reaction, let me know by giving me a big thumbs up, to like the video, and consider subscribing today, where we do more reactions like this, trailer reactions, and live streams 3 times a week here on the channel. Also, if you guys want to watch this full reaction, uncensored and uncut, make sure to check out my Patreon down in the description below, where I have more than just full reactions. I have many perks not available here on YouTube. All right, Flicks Talkers, till next one, I'm gone. Peace.